Welcome to this IS-5 replay, which the tank is played by Metko, an old clanmate of mine, and he's platooned up with Juhu, which is also an old clanmate of mine, and he's here in his IS-5 on the Fjords map. I've been away for a short while on a holiday, which is why there weren't any videos, but he was kind enough to send me this replay while I was on holiday, so I had something good to come back to. And I was quite impressed by this match. He's got a really good result in this tank. Now, the IS-5 is a Clan War reward tank, which you could get in the last campaign. And I must say, it's quite a good tank actually. It's about 99.9% similar to the IS-3. It has maybe slightly troller side armor because it's the IS-5 hull for some reason, or the IS-8 hull, but the front is slightly weaker because the driver's hatch plate is larger and thinly armored. And here we see that the enemy team is starting out really aggressively. The AMX 100 puts one shot into Metko and then retreats and shoots the easier kill, obviously. So the ISU 122 isn't getting much luck this match. But now there's a little bit of a stalemate here where there's heavies against heavies on a corner. So the IS-5 compared to the IS-3, the only disadvantage really that the IS-5 has is that it's slightly less mobile, but the gun performance is a lot worse. It's not really got that Stalin guided shell that the IS-3 has, because when you're not fully aimed, the gun has a habit of just completely missing the tank. And here we can see the IS-3, or the enemy IS-3, either alt-tabbed out of the game or has lost the will to fight. And he came back again, does one critical shot, and then just sits in the open and gets killed. So yeah, not an entirely bad result so far. So his counterpart has died, which is good, but his buddy in the CDC up on the hill will soon come under quite a bit of fire. And that's a thing I noticed with the CDC. You don't want to play that as a frontline tank because it has 10mm of armor or something, so literally anything will go through. So it's not really suited to be up front. You're more like a light tank in that thing. But back to the IS-5. As you can see in the hit log list, there is quite a lot of ricochets and bounces on this tank, and that is because it's got the IS-8 hull, and while the IS-8 hull on tier 9 isn't really that special and gets penetrated by everyone and their mother, on tier 8 it is actually quite useful, especially against lower tiers which have a hard time penetrating even when they have a shot at the weak spots, or they completely miss the tank, which is also fine. So far it's 3 kills and nearly 5,000 W and 8, 3,200 damage, so it's going really well actually. Not for his team because they're at a disadvantage at the moment. And there we see a T-28 prototype. And Metko needs to get into cover, but the T-28 actually fires on someone else. Again, he goes for the easier kill instead of the actual useful damage. But Metko is doing something very smart here, and that is to focus this T-28 prototype over the Tiger II on his right, because the Tiger II can do about 390 damage per shot, but the T-28 prototype has 120mm and can do close to 500 damage a shot. So you want to take out that guy first. And here again we see the troll side armor of the IS-8, a 0 damage hit. So Metko is able to put a good shot in. Second shot by the Tiger actually does damage, but that was probably because he hit his angled side plate. But again, Metko now is focusing on the T-28. But we can see he does 317 damage, which means the T-28 prototype didn't actually have the 122mm, or he had a massive low roll, but I think that's very unlikely. And now there's a T-25 too. And the enemy has 2 tier 8 tanks left. One of them is the Indian Panzer and one is the Panther 88. Both of them can pretty reliably penetrate this tank. And Metko here is on close to 400 health, so not that much. And there's loads of enemy tanks in the cap. And here we can see, as a true champion, the Indian Panzer fires nothing but gold. But hey, it's his wallet. So now we can see that Metko is unfortunately ammo racked, which is a bit of a drawback. And he himself now only has premium shells left because he expanded all his AP shells. So 5,400 damage and 10,000 WN8, which is better than I ever did in this tank so far. But then again, I rarely play it. Because yeah, it's a fun tank, but I might get into it later on. Tiger 2 is doing a little bit of side scraping here, or at least trying to. And he gets killed by the arty. So again, even the arty is focusing on important targets instead of the actual dangerous ones. And here the Panther 88 decides to charge, so Metko puts a shot in, and luckily his KV2 or teammate actually manages to kill him. Otherwise this would have been very nasty, as Metko is ammo racked, so his reload is really long. Unfortunately his KV2 friend gets taken out, but the lure on his team actually is hunting the arty and manages to kill him. So unless that VK3000, and there he is. So the lure can just drive into the cap, and the only thing Metko has to do is actually prevent these guys from capping. And there's one Stalin guided shell in this match, which was that one. It hit unaimed, and here we see this VK charging, but with his gun, the short 88, he has pretty much no hope of ever penetrating this IS-5. So yeah, from this point on, Metko can take them out quite easily. I'll have to sort of truncate this replay a little bit, because in recent patches Wargaming introduced a feature that crashes the replay function, because the game just quits the replay instead of stopping. So this was an Ace Tanker badge, a Radley Walthers, a Spartan, Steel Wall, Defender, High Caliber and Top Gun. So yeah, quite a really good match. 16k WN8 and 9k damage in total. Oh no, 70.2k damage in total and 9 kills. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the replay and see you next time.